Hi everybody, I'm Michael Millerman. Welcome to my channel. I wanted to make a short video today about the following question. Can you be pro-Russia in the current war without being anti-Ukraine? In my view, the answer is yes for the following reason. There are people who don't know anybody in Russia or anybody in Ukraine, and they have absolutely nothing against Ukrainians or Russians. However, they have something against global liberalism, globalism, American hegemony, not because they hate America, but because they hate American global dominance. Some of them might also hate America. That's not what I'm talking about. So you have the following situation. Is it better for there to be a single global hegemon or a few centers of power? Question number one. If you think it's better for there to be a few centers of power, next question, who could form a center of power strong enough and strategically solid enough to oppose the dominance of the United States globally? Well, probably the best bet is some kind of Russia-China axis, some combination. They're not the only countries. There's Iran could be in the equation. There's the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. There's BRICS, but still, we're just simplifying here, Russia, China. So what would a victory mean for this question if Russia were to win in Ukraine? It would mean the prospects of a multipolar world are greater. And what would it mean if Russia were to lose? It would mean the prospects of a multipolar world are less likely than they would be. So, totally independently, in a sense, of whether you like Russia or Ukraine, whether you know Russians or Ukrainians, whether you're pro-war or anti-war, there is one perspective from which you can assess the significance of the war for international relations, for the world order, for the problem, one hegemon or several empires, one ruler or several rulers, one globalist force or a few regional blocs. And just in terms of that question, in my opinion at least, it's in principle possible to be pro-Russia or to want Russia to at least assert its possibility of saying no to the United States and its allies. I repeat, this doesn't mean you are anti-American, in my view, because you may not think that America must extend its reach everywhere globally. There are very patriotic, pro-constitutional, freedom-loving Americans who don't think that America should be fighting wars all over the world and that America's interests have in principle no boundaries and all of that, right? So doesn't mean you're anti-Russian or pro-Russian, doesn't mean you're anti-Ukrainian or pro-Ukrainian, doesn't mean you're anti-American or pro-American, but it does mean that in your view, globalism, meaning a single global hegemon, a single center of power, a single ruler of the world, is less desirable, all things considered, than a few poles, and Russia and China, in principle, could form some balance of powers, some counterweight to American global dominance. What do you think about that argument? Is it nonsense? Is it bogus? Is there something to it? Is it possible to separate out this principle of international relations and world order from all the other allegiances that people may have, actually being anti-Russian or pro-Russian, actually being anti-Ukrainian, pro-Ukrainian? You know, maybe the concern is that, look, China and Russia are totalitarian, authoritarian, dystopian, dictatorial regimes, and it's better to have just global Americanism than it is to have any form of Chinese world domination, any form of Russian world domination. I want to leave that question for you to hash out in the comments. I just thought I'd give you this short version of an argument worth considering. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all the usual things. Michael Millerman, thanks for spending your time here.